Hi guys, today I will be discuss about or more likely to introduce to you guys about the secret society in mainland China, the people who are involved in the cooperative marriage. So just like someone who are in the closet regarding their sexuality, people are in the cooperative marriage are facing the same kind of problem. But before we dive in, I'd like to show you guys some news first. 7 months ago, The Guardian posted news about the shutdown of LGBTQ accounts on WeChat, and similarly, China bans the depiction of gay people on all kinds of other media. So WeChat, sharing as one of the biggest social media platform in China, has long been a safe place for the LGBTQ community to represent and communicate with each other. However, as I highlight here, some of the accounts that have been operating for years are being demonetized and censored without even further notice. This kind of news might sound surprising to many in the year of 2022, however, it's nothing new. As early as 2017, Weibo, the Twitter of China, has been going on wars with Chinese netizens regarding posting about LGBTQ content. Even though homosexuality has been decriminalized in China in the late 90s and removed from mental illness disorder list in the early 2000s. However, the stigma against the homosexual individuals still exists. So after going through a little bit hostility background toward homosexual individuals in mainland China, I like to proceed with the rest of content here. First being the norm of marriage in China, its traditions and the values, and how it prompt to the formation of a cooperative marriage. And then I would define closet cooperative marriage, following by 2 case studies to actually clarify and materialize how a cooperative marriage could carry out. And lastly, I want to talk about why this topic matters and some of my afterthoughts. So the norm of marriage in China is deeply rooted in Confucianism idea of filial piety. In a way that I quote here, there are 3 things which are unfilial, and to have no posterity is the greatest of them. So we see a reinforcement on the heterosexual nature of marriage, where producing an offspring comes as the most important thing after marriage, and Chinese parents love to pitch the idea of being properly matched to their kids when they are planning on a marriage. 门当户对, in literal translation, it means 2 families who are in the marriage together have to be socially and financially compatible, or as I put it, it has to be look good on paper. So the romance is not the center focus of a marriage anymore, and marriage itself serves more like a responsibility owed to the society and the parents. And from here on, we see a high parental involvement in the Chinese marriage. This is a picture taken in Shanghai marriage market, where the parents are literally laying down the information and pictures of their children on the ground like commodities, and other parents are just strolling around to find a potential date for their children. So like I said before, marriage in China are more like marriage between families rather than 2 individuals. So to define closet marriage, actually Ang Lee has already touched on this subject in his movie The Wedding Banquet, where this Taiwanese guy was in love with his American partner. However, he married a girl from Shanghai who was only in the marriage for green card. They faked a heterosexual marriage just to make the Taiwanese guy's parents happy. Well, in reality, corporate marriage has less to do with financial gains, but more about LGBTQ community and individuals finding their partner in crime and come back together against the stress from society and both from the parents. And people usually find their partner in crime through matchmaking websites and apps. And these websites and apps for corporate marriage are also taking extra measures just to dodge the Chinese online police. And users of these websites are usually gay singleton who is trying to find a lesbian singleton and fake a heterosexual marriage together. Sometimes it also can be the case where a gay couple finding a lesbian couple and faking 2 weddings together, almost like 1 stone 2 birds situation. And they can make at least 8 parents happy at the same time. So during the course of marriage, they will usually sign a prenup or even buy a house together to co-live, and they will live under certain protocols and rehearse how to greet parents. So it's almost like a marriage of method acting. And some may ask, is this kind of marriage even possible to carry out. So here are two case studies. One being Chunjiang, I call it happy ending. So Chunjiang actually came out to his parents during high school, and he and his boyfriend were both got physically abused pretty bad and thrown on the street. So he decided this kind of disappointment and stress was not worth it. And he stayed single for 10 years until his parents are stressed him about the importance of a heterosexual marriage again. So he met his wife on the Discord under the subject of cooperative marriage, where his wife right now was also a lesbian and had similar experience as him. And now they got married together, faked the wedding, and they're co-living like a siblings, where he literally called his wife big sister at house. And they have like a separate romance life and no longer dealing with the constant nagging from their parents anymore. However, cooperative marriage don't usually always end up happily. The bitter ending from an anonymous lesbian netizen shared on Discord, where when she and her girlfriend, about 10 years, trying to find a gay couple to get married to, it fell off because her girlfriend fell in love with one of the gay guys for real. And as we all know, sexuality can just be a spectrum. Sometimes people's feelings change, and what left are just two broken hearts. So a lot of unforeseen complications can take place too, and cooperative marriage don't really work out at all time. So why I want to talk about this topic, first, this topic is very underexplored. When I was searching online, no serious journals or articles are written on this topic. And secondly, I want to raise awareness on the hostility situation the LGBTQ community are facing in China. As you guys can see, while typing LGBTQ or corporate marriage thing like on Chinese social media, it literally informed me it is against the law to show me the results of this research. And lastly, some people say corporate marriage is a helpless compromise. But for me, I really don't think so. I think it is a courage. It is the preservation of originality of the LGBTQ community in mainland China. They're doing the best within the measures they can, and I really respect that. So my afterthoughts on will this kind of situation get better? For now, I really don't have an answer if everything will go through or proceed through a positive way in mainland China. But when we look at some neighbor country like Taiwan, where it literally legalized gay marriage, and in Japan, they have massive media presentations and support for the LGBTQ community and other marginalized groups. So hopefully, these countries can influence China a little bit in the future. And for now, corporate marriage still stay as the best in the war situation. So thank you, guys.